Ja, liebe Zuschauer, es hat nun doch geklappt. Unser berühmter Gast ist eingetroffen, Muhammad Ali. Ich darf ihn bitten jetzt ins Studio. Ja, da kommt er. Und meine Kollegen Dagobert Lindlar und Christopher Cortis werden sich mit ihm unterhalten. Aha, die langsame Gangart eingeschaltet.
Well, I guess you must be very tired after your trip.
Yes,
it was a bad trip, wasn't it?
time change, but I'll be okay in the morning.
Yeah, you were 6 hours late, something like that. You were supposed to come in about 10:40.
Maybe it'll wake you up a little bit if we tell you that Dunn just has broken to pieces his sparring partner and sent him back to London.
Vielleicht wachen Sie auf, wenn wir Ihnen sagen, dass Dunn seinen Sparringpartner zerschlagen
According to
hat.
how good the sparring partner was. he
Das
probably
kommt auf den
nothing
Sparringpartner
over.
drauf an.
Well, but what do you think about Dunn? I think he might
Was
be
halten Sie
dangerous
von
to you.
Dunn?
Yes, all fighters are dangerous.
Alle Kämpfer
Any
sind
heavyweight
gefährlich.
is dangerous if he's a professional. And
Besonders
he is the
wenn er ein
heavyweight champion
Professioneller
of
ist.
Europe.
Und er ist immerhin der
So,
Schwergewichtsmeister
That
von
means he
Europa.
can defeat every man in Europe.
Das bedeutet,
you.
dass er jeden in
Well,
Europa
that's
schlagen
easy.
kann. Auch
It's
Sie.
easy. It's 3 minutes a ring.
So we can't take him too lightly.
Also
Any
man kann ihn
man
nicht sehr einfach so
promoters
auf die
will
Schulter
pay.
nehmen.
And any fighter that the boxing authorities will sanction
Jeder
is
Kämpfer, den
possibly
die
a threat to
offiziellen
harm.
Well, but you're a great
Box.
person for making predictions. What's your prediction on that fight?
Sie sind groß in
Well, I-
Voraussagen. Was halten Sie von diesem Kampf? Wie beurteilen Sie
Started
ihn?
making predictions
nun Voraussagen zu machen,
about 15 years ago.
das habe ich
And
vor
lately I've quit making
15 Jahren
predictions
begonnen
because
und jetzt habe ich aufgehört damit.
people believe in me so much so
Denn die Menschen glauben mir ja.
until they bet monies on what I say.
Und dann
And I
wetten
don't
sie
think that
auf mich.
that should be. So I quit making predictions because
Und das mag ich
I
nicht.
can win the fight
Deswegen
but miss
höre
the
ich auf,
prediction
Voraussagen zu machen.
and they still consider the loss.
I
Do
see
you-
what you mean.
Do you think that Dunn is the sort of fighter that could become world champion?
Halten Sie
If
dann für einen
there were
Kämpfer,
not
der
a Muhammad Ali?
Weltmeister werden könnte?
Well, even if there were a Muhammad Ali, he can, and there is a Muhammad Ali, that's me. He has
Es
a
gibt
possibility.
immerhin den Muhammad Ali und der hat
But
die
naturally,
Möglichkeit.
the odds would be against him.
Aber die
But we never
Chancen
can
sind gegen ihn.
tell. Jimmy Young was
Man
a
kann
nobody.
nie
Now
da
people
was
are
aussagen.
saying
Jimmy
he
Nang war ein
defeated me.
Yeah.
Niemand,
They
aber
think he
trotzdem.
won. Chuck Webner was a nobody.
Chuck Webner war ein
He fought
Niemand.
me to a 15-round
Der hat
close
mich
decision
15
in
Runden lang
Cleveland
gekämpft.
last year.
In Cleveland letztes Jahr.
Blue Lewis
Blue
was
Lewis
a nobody.
war auch ein
He
Niemand.
fought me in Dublin, Ireland for
Der hat mich in
11
Dublin
rounds. He,
11 Runden
was
lang
real close until I
gekämpft.
stopped him. Ron Lau
Ron
was
Lau,
considered nothing until
der war auch
round
ein Niemand.
11. He was ahead on points until I knocked him out.
Der
And
war
this
ja
is one
voraus
thing
in
about
Punkten, bis ich
heavyweight
ihn K.O.
boxing.
geschlagen habe.
We never can tell what condition neither fighter's in.
Das ist ja so
But
beim
Ali,
Boxen,
I'm
man kann nie
amazed.
sagen,
That's,
in
I never
welchem
met you,
Zustand
unfortunately.
die
no.
Kämpfer
But that's
sind.
not the kind of talk I read in the newspapers about. Normally, you give them nicknames and
When you
you
say,
really
Oh,
trample on them.
I've given him a nickname.
You have?
yeah, what's the nickname?
Ich habe einen,
Frankenstein.
Well, that's
ich habe einen Kosenamen für
Why did
Richard
you
not a
choose
very
that? Why
nice
did you
name,
choose
I
that?
must say.
Because I just hate to tell the truth, but he's rather ugly.
Also ich will ja nicht die
You think
Wahrheit
it's as
sagen, aber
ugly
er
as
ist
As ugly as
ziemlich
this one.
hässlich.
That's him.
Das ist er.
That's
Give you
him.
that as a present.
Thank you.
Ich gebe
Thank
Ihnen
you
das
so
Geschenk.
much. I will
Dankeschön.
wear this when I go to the fight.
There's one fighter.
Das werde ich tragen.
Yeah,
Im
Ali, there's one
Boxring.
fighter you didn't mention in this long list of fighters who did very well against you, and that was a man called Mildenberger.
Einen Mann
What
haben
did
Sie
you
nicht
think of
genommen.
Mildenberger?
Und das ist Mildenberger.
He was a southpaw,
Der Miltenberger,
Awkward.
der hat immer gerne von
gave
unten
me a lot of
hochgeschlagen.
trouble.
Yeah.
And this is the only thing this fighter really has in his favor is that he
das
hits
ist zu seinem
hard
Vorteil.
if he can land,
Er schlägt
and
hart
he's
zu,
awkward because he's left-handed.
Now, what happens?
aber
I
er ist
mean,
doch
you're
etwas
fighting
unbehindert, denn er ist ein Linkshänder.
Mildenberger, I think, tomorrow night in Augsburg.
Ja, Sie kämpfen gegen
Tomorrow
Mildenberger
afternoon,
morgen
Tomorrow
Nachmittag
afternoon, actually,
morgen Nachmittag
at
in
4 o'clock.
Augsburg
Now,
um
what
4 Uhr.
happens if he's hurting you?
Was passiert, wenn er sie verletzt?
Well, there's a
It
possibility.
would hurt the
Naja,
big
die
fight.
Möglichkeit gibt.
It
With the
would.
tremendous fights before your fight.
It
and everything.
would, but it's a gamble I'll have to take.
When did
Ja,
you
aber
last...
das
He's
ist
old
halt
and retired now, so he shouldn't be.
eine Chance, die ich
You know
mitnehmen
that he
muss.
is here.
Carl,
Where?
here.
Over there.
Come on, come in.
He's old and he's
He
retired.
won't come into this ring because his camera shy.
I didn't say that.
All right.
You tricked me.
Sie haben mir gerade eine Falle
Ali, we all
gestellt.
know this one is the last time.
Who once fought in the ring with you?
Wissen Sie, dass hier jemand
Who?
ist, der mal gegen Sie gekämpft hat?
It's Carl Mildenberger.
Carl Miltenberger, where?
Karl Mildenberger, wo steckt er?
Carl Miltenberger.
Hello, Jack, come on. The next line, come on.
You know something? This man is still handsome.
Wissen Sie was, der sieht immer noch gut aus.
He's the,
In
I would
Anbetracht
say
seines
that out
Alters.
of all of the people I have fought,
Also ich
He
möchte
was the-
sagen, dass von
he
allen
was the
denen,
most handsome
gegen die
fighter
ich gekämpft
I've ever
habe,
fought.
er immer noch der Bestaussehende war.
And you could have changed that easily, couldn't you?
Das hätte man aber ändern können, oder?
Now, we don't want no trouble now.
Aber wir wollen jetzt keinen Ärger.
We're friends now.
Wir sind
We
jetzt
don't fight
gute
no more.
Freunde,
We're
wir
friends
kämpfen nicht
now.
mehr, wir sind gute
Er hat es
Freunde.
versucht, ja. Er hat es ja versucht. Aber es gelang ihm nicht ganz.
Good.
He looks like a movie star.
Das sieht aus wie ein Filmstar.
Ja.
He's got many girlfriends.
Viele
Ask it.
Mädchen, hat er viele Mädchen?
Nur eine Frau habe ich.
And she's with him, so I think we better drop the subject.
Yeah, I
Ich glaube, das Thema lassen wir
didn't mean
besser
to get him in
fallen.
no trouble.
Ich wollte mir keinen Ärger machen. Ne?
Mohammed, thank you very much. Thank you, Karl Mildenberg. Vielen Dank auch dafür, dass Sie gekommen sind. I'll have to go on to something else. I'm sure you two want to talk a little bit about the old times, vaccines. Und ich darf mich also nun erstens Ihnen zuwenden, meine Damen und Herren.
Well, the first and last time I shall ever ask you this question, no doubt. You say you're the greatest. We all know that you are the greatest boxer in the
Sie
world.
sagen, Sie wären der
and that you're
größte
also the most
Boxer.
talented boxer in the
Und
world.
der talentierteste
Now, what gives
Boxer.
you your drive? What
Was
makes you
gibt
go
Ihnen
on?
Ihren
Well, you're all
Schwung,
getting older.
Ihren Elan?
What gives you the drive to go on? Is it ambition? Is it personal gain? Or what is it, in your view?
Geht es um Ihren persönlichen Gewinn oder Ihre Ambitionen?
I
Naja,
have enough
persönlicher Gewinn ist es nicht.
for myself in the way of
Yeah.
financial
Ich bin ja
Fame-wise,
gut gepolstert.
the cause of God.
Es ist
We have
eigentlich,
much crime in the country of our America, more so than any country in the world.
es ist eigentlich die Sache
We have the
Gottes.
greatest country
ich da
in the
vertreten
world,
will.
America.
Wir haben zwar in
Greatest
Amerika das
education
größte
system,
Land, aber wir haben sehr viele
The
Kriminalität.
greatest transportation system.
Wir haben das größte
Housing,
Transportsystem.
hospitals,
Wir haben
schools,
gute Häuser, gute
the lowest
Kliniken.
in morals.
Aber die Moral,
Mainly among the black community, we have crime day and night throughout the
besonders
country.
auch in der
There's
schwarzen
no
Gemeinde in
trust,
Amerika.
there's no trust
Wir
in
haben Tag und Nacht
each other. There's no
unsere
loyalty,
Auseinandersetzung
friendship.
außerhalb des Gesetzes.
Uh,
Es gibt kein
so
Vertrauen bei uns.
I like to use my fame and my popularity,
Ich möchte also meinen Ruhm und meine
convert as many
Popularität
people as I can to
dafür benutzen,
righteousness,
dass sie
and to worship
wieder ans
God
Recht glauben und dass sie den
prepare themselves
Gott
for
wieder
the hereafter.
verehren.
So the only thing that keeps me really going, knowing that we live in a world where if you don't have money or if you don't have some type fame, people don't listen to you. And as
Was
long
mich
as,
also
for an example, if I didn't win my last
weiterhin
fight,
boxen
I
lässt.
wouldn't be here today.
Well, Ali,
Ist, dass ich
This is my goal to
everybody, I think,
keeps
who
it
who
going.
has read your book knows that you're very dedicated.
Jeder, der
very
Ihr
serious person,
Buch gelesen hat,
concerned person,
weiß, dass Sie
very,
ein Mann sind,
but let's still
der an etwas glaubt.
to another issue. How much money are you making out of this?
Aber wie viel Geld verdienen Sie mit diesem Kampf da jetzt?
Oh, probably.
What do you keep?
Keep maybe about 600,000.
Naja, wahrscheinlich so ungefähr
How
600.000.
much goes to your church?
Und wie viel geht an Ihre Kirche?
None?
Unless
Nichts.
I'm ready to give.
Außer ich bin bereit zu geben.
The church don't ask us for money. God don't
Die
ask
Kirche
you for money.
fragt uns ja nicht
You have to
nach
give
Geld.
from your heart.
Der
So
liebe
it's
Gott
up to
fragt
me
auch
to
nicht
give
nach
what I
Geld.
want.
Man muss das aus dem Herzen geben.
Let me ask this. Do you hate your opponent?
Hassen Sie
Do you
Ihren
fight him?
Gegner, wenn
Because
Sie ihn
you're talking
bekämpfen?
about love. and You're talking about
I
God.
don't hate him. I don't hate
Ich hasse
my
ihn
opponents. But it's not the action. You have a good question. It's not the action that makes a thing right or wrong,
Es ist ja nicht die Tat, die etwas richtig oder falsch macht.
but the purpose behind the action.
Es ist ja
I
das
kill a
Motiv
man
dahinter.
today, I kill a man tomorrow.
Ich töte heute
Why
einen
did
Mann,
I
ich
kill the
töte
first man?
übermorgen einen Mann.
I killed the first man because I caught him in my bed with my wife.
Den ersten habe ich getötet, weil ich ihn im Bett mit meiner Frau erwischt habe.
I killed the next man because we did arguing over an
Den
idea.
zweiten habe ich
I
getötet,
get
weil wir
life
über ein
from
Ideal
this.
gestritten haben.
Both actions were killing. But what's determined
Beide
by
Taten waren
God
Tötungen.
and the judge is the purpose behind the action.
Aber das
So
eigentliche
my
Richten
purpose
Are you
in-
hating?
ist
No,
ja
my purpose
die Sache,
in
die
fighting
dahinter steht,
is not
also
to
das
hurt my
Motiv.
opponent physically.
Da geht
I
das
don't hate
Richten,
him.
das Recht
But
haben
this
los.
is the way I earn a living.
Und so
This is the way I
ich
get
verdiene so mein
world
Geld.
popularity.
So
And
werde ich
able to come
populär.
on shows such
But
as
don't you
yours,
feel you
just
have to? Don't you feel you have to? If you really go out to kill somebody, don't you develop an artificial feeling of hate?
No, I don't
Entwickeln
go
Sie
out
nicht
to
einmal
kill
ein
nobody.
künstliches Gefühl des
It's not my
Hasses?
purpose.
Nein.
This is why I didn't go to Vietnam War.
Deswegen bin ich auch nicht
Because I
nach
don't
Vietnam
believe in
gegangen.
killing. But I go out to win, and I pray to God before the fight and after.
Ich gehe nur raus, um
Neither
zu
one of us
gewinnen,
hurt
und da
seriously,
bete ich zu
because
Gott.
Dunn's got a family.
Der
He's
Dunn
got
hat
a
eine
wife,
Familie.
I'm sure she don't want him hurt, and the
Seine Frau
children
will
don't
sicherlich
want
nicht,
him
dass
dead. Some boxers get brain
ich ihm zu
concussions,
sehr
they die
wehtue.
in hemorrhages, just to please a crowd for a few hours. And I don't want to be part of this.
Ich will ihn nicht so
this is
stark
why I
verletzen,
pulled off
bloß
a
um eine
Ron Lyle.
Menschenmenge
I had
dann
him
eine
conscious.
Stunde
I
lang
told
zu
the referee to
unterhalten.
stop him. I pulled off Jerry Quarry, pulled off James Ellis, Floyd Patterson. I've had him in conditions where they were helpless and I could see their eyes going
Ich habe
back.
doch meine Gegner schon
And I
vorher in
told them,
hilflosen
people
Situationen
criticized me
gehabt.
for not killing them and knocking them out.
Da haben mich Leute kritisiert,
Because
damit
once
ich sie
I
nicht
wrote
gleich
something
zusammen,
once,
weil ich sie nicht gleich
It
zusammengeschlagen
says,
habe.
when you get a power and a victory over your enemy,
Wenn man
then in
Macht und Sieg
thankfulness
über
to
den
God for this, forgive him.
Gegner hat,
So once God
dann
has
sollte
gotten
man
in a
ihm auch
position
vergeben
where I
können,
see
diesen
him winning,
Gegner.
I don't have to do no more, but I could, according to man's law, but with God's law, I'm guilty. Then I'll be punished for seriously hurting a man.
All right,
after
let's
I've
get
Ich will
down to
also
your last
einen
fight
Menschen
against Young. I saw it
nicht
on videotape.
ernsthaft wehtun, denn da
And,
würde das Urteil
I
Gottes
don't know much
eintreten.
about boxing, but I saw you hitting the man with sledgehammer beats.
Hat
actually, when he
Young
was
richtig
out
mit dem
the
Dampfhammer
ropes.
zusammengeschlagen.
Is that correct?
Stimmt
yeah,
das?
I wasn't hurting him. I wasn't hitting him, and that didn't hurt him at all.
Could you have hit him
Nein, so habe ich
harder
ihn
than
nicht
you were
geschlagen
hitting
und das
him?
hat ihm auch
I
nicht
hit him harder,
wehgetan.
but I was mostly hitting him around his chest area.
Ich habe ihn ja meistens auf die
Protesting,
Brust
because
geschlagen.
That's illegal. When you are in a position where you're on the floor or you're out of the ropes, that's considered a knockdown because he could
Wenn man
be
ja
hurt.
außerhalb
And this
der
is a
Seile
way to
ist
stall for time.
oder am Boden
Well,
ist,
he-
dann heißt es ja ein
he was
Knockdown.
illegally knocked down 6 times.
Also
And when you are
illegal
knocked down 6 times in a
war
fight, there's
sechsmal
almost no way to win the decision.
niedergeschlagen
And
worden
continually
im
running,
Knockdown.
running, and sticking your head out the ropes. There's no way to get a title. To win a championship,
So
you have to
kriegt
go
man
after
keinen
the champion
Titel.
and defeat him.
Man muss
You can't
den
run and
Champion
duck all night
angreifen
and then
und
get the
ihn
victory.
schlagen.
What do you
Nur
do?
so bekommt man
Sorry,
den Titel.
Dagobert. You say the one thing you said interested me very much. You say before a fight, you pray to God.
Vor einem Kampf
In what other
beten
way do
Sie
you
zu
prepare
Gott.
for the fight? Is there anything that you don't do before a fight that you normally
Not
do?
only before fights, we should pray and thank
Man
God for
soll
every
nicht
little thing. I can
vor
be
dem
driving
Boxkampf
my car
beten.
and there's no
Vielleicht
parking
nachher.
spot, and sometimes you pull up and a car pulls out just in time as if he knew you were coming. I thank God for things like that. Before my plane left Chicago, I prayed. Sometimes planes
Bevor
go
mein
up,
Flugzeug
people
von
die on
Chicago
plane
weggeflogen
crashes
ist, habe
all
ich
the time.
gebetet.
Every time my plane land, I thank God for that.
Jedes
Not
Mal,
just
wenn mein
fighting,
Flugzeug runterkommt,
what was your
danke ich
question?
Gott.
My question is,
Was war Ihre
you
Frage?
prepare for the fight by praying to God beforehand. What is the
The
other
rest,
preparation?
running,
Apart from training, running.
Apart from training,
let me give you an
meditate. I
example.
meditate a lot.
You meditate,
I think
uh-huh.
about the importance of the fight. what all I can accomplish by the fight, the people who are dependent on me, things I want to do business-wise in the future, how having
Vor
the
einem
title
Kampf
you can
meditiere
do,
ich.
there's so much more you can do, and being the champion, retiring champion, I think about all these things.
Let me ask something else, entirely different, about politics. You are concerned
Nun
with
zur
politics
Politik. Sie beschäftigen sich mit Politik sehr sogar.
The
They say
state
you're
of your
fighting,
country, I
you
think.
say you're fighting for
Und über den Zustand
against
Ihres
when you
Landes.
fight, you're fighting against crime in the States.
Der Kampf gegen
There's a
die
That's
Kriminalität.
politics.
There's a spiritual. See, Jesus then was a politician,
Yeah.
but not the way as
He had
far-
political
he d-
implications, I
Yeah,
would
he
say.
didn't represent the government of the land.
Der Jesus hatte
Preaching
ja
against the
schon
government. Moses was a
eine politische Rolle, aber er hat nicht das Land vertreten. Moses, dasselbe mit ihm.
I don't use the word politics because
Das Wort Politik
are based
gebrauche ich
on
nicht.
things which are liable for change and destruction. See, one man makes a mistake, the whole party's out. You depend on
Ich
the
meine,
people.
bei der Politik
I don't
ist es ja so,
depend on,
dass wenn ein Mann einen
the
Fehler
people.
macht,
I
dann
don't
ist die
depend on
ganze
the government.
Partei
I've rejected and went against the
wieder
government cases.
beim nächsten Wahlkampf nicht mehr drin. Das ist für mich eine zu kurzfristige Aussage. Ich stütze mich auf Gott.
Truth of the Bible and the Muslim Bible, the Holy Quran, and Allah.
Ich stütze
This
mich
is what
auf
I depend on.
den Koran
Do you,
und Allah.
you depend on Allah, but there are many politicians who also depend on God to a great extent.
Es gibt viele
If I
Politiker,
was a
die
politician,
von
I
Gott
couldn't be in your country
abhängen.
talking like I'm talking.
No doubt.
I
Yeah.
have to stay in Chicago. I have to stay in Washington. I'd have to get permission from them to
When
leave.
you,
I'm free now.
Ali, I want to ask you a question. When you,
Politicians are not free. I'm free.
when you
Politiker
finish
sind nicht
boxing,
frei,
one
ich
day
bin
you'll-
frei.
You'll quit the ring. No doubt. Huh? What, have you ever thought then of entering politics in any way?
Haben Sie jemals daran gedacht, in das politische
I had
Leben
a couple of
einzutreten?
politicians in Washington talking to me. See,
In
if I
Washington
was
haben
a
ein paar Politiker mit mir
congressman, I have to stay in a
gesprochen.
certain area.
Aber
See, this is the most
das
famous
mache ich
face
nicht.
in the world right now.
Da wäre ich ja
Right now, I have the
festgebunden.
most
Und
famous
mein
face
Gesicht
on
ist
the
ja nun
whole
das
planet.
berühmteste Gesicht
There's
in der
no
Welt.
country, white or black, Catholic, Jew,
Kein
Muslim,
Land, schwarz,
I can't go
weiß,
and not be known.
katholisch,
So to do that,
evangelisch,
to cheapen myself
kennt
to one country,
mich
or
nicht.
to one state, or to some legislative
Und da
office,
wäre ich dann in
would be
einem
too small.
Staat
That interests me very much
eingesperrt.
what you
Das
say
wäre
about
zu
this
klein
being
für
the
mich.
most famous face in the world. This is a true statement. But we'd all like to know, I'm sure, what you get out of that. What this gives you, having the most famous face.
Helping people. That's what I'm preaching the word of God. We've been talking about God today.
Sure.
We've been talking about religion.
We've also been talking
So
about
this
you
is-
being in the limelight, Ali. And you are in the limelight very much.
Was für mich das Wichtigste ist, ist, dass ich Menschen helfe.
See, everything that happens has a
Dass
purpose.
ich-
It happens for purpose. God knew, I believe, that I would be sincere, but me putting God in front,
Wenn ich also
and
den
religion
lieben
in
Gott
front,
vorne
and righteousness
herausschiebe
and truth,
und
God has blessed
das
me to
Recht
be
vorne
who I am
herausschiebe,
today. So
dann
this
weiß
is
ich,
why I'm popular,
dass der liebe
and
Gott
I'm
mich
continuing
liebt.
is to keep this
Was it God who made you a boxer, a fighter?
Ist
or
es
was
Gott
it another
gewesen, der
chance? How did
Sie
that
zu einem
happen?
Boxer
It was
gemacht hat?
God that made
Es war
everything.
Gott, der
Hold your
alles
breath
gemacht
for-
hat.
hold your breath for 2 minutes. It's
Halten
God
Sie
that's
mal
keeping
Ihre
you
Luft
here.
an, 2 Minuten
It's
lang.
God that brought you from a little germ through your mother's womb.
Es war der liebe
It's
Gott,
God who nourishes your bones with
der
his
sie
milk from his cows.
von
It's
ihrer
God's
Mutter
sunshine. It's
aus
God's
einem
food.
kleinen Samen
The- the-
herausgeboren hat.
everything you-
Der liebe Gott
everything
hat
on
alles
in the
gemacht.
world is a servant of God.
Und
There's
jeder
nothing
ist
in
ein
the
Diener
world that's not
Gottes.
a servant to God. So my boxing, my victory over Joe Frazier,
Mein
after he
Boxen, mein
defeated me,
Sieg
they
über
thought it
Joe
was finished.
Frazier.
Ken Norton broke my jaw, I came back and beat him. George Foreman was considered the baddest man since Rocky Marciano. I defeated him. I beat them
Ich hab
all.
sie alle geschlagen.
Everything, all of my success, all of my honors is from
If you,
Allah.
but if somebody
Alle
comes
meine
along and
Ehren
beats
kommen
you,
von der Hand
That's
Allahs.
the will of Allah. That's God's
then you
will.
would take it as the will of
Aber wenn jemand kommt und Sie
God
schlägt,
and
können
wouldn't
Sie das
complain.
hinnehmen?
From what you say about
Well, I
your
won't say one thing. When Joe Frazier
Yeah.
beat me, that was God's will because
Als
I didn't
Joe
train
Frazier mich
properly. I
geschlagen hat,
played,
dann war es
I clowned,
Gottes
I played
Wille.
cheap. When Ken Norton beat me, I ran around going to parties. I did things
Als
I
Kid
shouldn't
Norton
do.
mich geschlagen hat,
When
da bin ich
Jimmy
rumgelaufen
Young
und
just
war in
had the
Partys und das
fight,
war meine Schuld.
I let them take me to 25 places. Like this television show, I did 25 interviews in Washington, in different states around Washington before the fight.
Ich habe
I went to
25
parties,
Interviews
I
gegeben
didn't
vor dem
eat
Kampf.
right, I didn't train
Ich war die
right, I
ganze
came
Zeit
in
unterwegs
bad,
beim
I
Feiern.
was punished
So
for
you
the
felt
bad
you
Und
were
dafür
punished
wurde ich
for that.
bestraft.
Yes, sir. God will spank us regardless of what we do. He'll always spank you when you get your head too big and you think you God, then he'll spank you to let you know he's still
But
God.
it's not very nice calling people names like Frankenstein. Is that a
Es ist
kind
nicht
of
sehr
a,
nett,
kind
Leute
of a
mit
psychological
Frankenstein zu
warfare?
bezeichnen. Ist das psychologische Kriegführung?
Ja, das ist alles, was es
Quite
ist.
this ugly. Almost, but not quite.
I have a favorite.
Ganz so
one for you,
hässlich ist er auch wieder
actually.
nicht.
You wrote this book, which has now come out in Germany, in German.
Yeah, I read that book
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Das Buch habe ich gerade erst
I
gestern
think it's going
gelesen.
very well now. Would you like to sign it for me? I'd be extremely grateful if you would. Because
Your name?
this book, Chris.
Chris.
I may go on with the interview in the meantime.
To Chris, you are
I'm
not-
sure you can write and talk at the same moment.
Yes.
Wir können
I
zur
wrote
gleichen
to-
Zeit
What I wanna
schreiben
know is
und
why you wrote
sprechen. Wir
this
wollen
book.
weitergehen mit dem Interview.
Why?
Ja, das
Yeah,
kann
why
ich.
did you write this book?
Because most people, when they receive just 1/4 the popularity I've received, people want to know what makes them tick, what do they think, how do they feel on issues. Why did anybody write a book? Everybody who writes books, why do they write
Nun,
books? For some
alle haben ein Buch
Because
geschrieben,
people
warum
don't know
soll ich auch
enough.
nicht
You see, what it
einschreiben?
is that you come along and say, I'm the greatest, okay, this is public relations, this is publicity, this is necessary. You also have a deep religious belief. Now, people
Ja,
really
das
want
ist
to know
auf der einen Seite Publizität, aber Sie haben auf der anderen
anderen
Seite eine tiefe religiöse Meinung.
What is that
I
feeling like?
lose. I never lose, I lose.
Thanks.
Yeah. I've lost a few times.
Yeah?
Ein paar
But
Mal
it
habe ich schon
helps you.
verloren.
I heard something once that says, if you are annoyed by any defeat, or if you are annoyed by any disagreeable experience, it is a loss. But if you learn by it, it's a gain. So
Ich
I
habe schon mal
learned by my
gehört
losses.
von jemandem, dass wenn man
From what you
einen
say,
Verlust
I have
zu
the
tragisch
feeling
nimmt, dann
that
ist
you
man wirklich
consider
verloren. Und das
yourself
mache ich
more a
nicht.
citizen of the world rather than a citizen of the United
Betrachten Sie
States.
sich als einen Weltbürger mehr als einen Bürger der
Yes, sir.
Vereinigten
I'm a
Staaten?
citizen of America, number one.
Ich bin ein
Also, Sie sind
Staatsbürger der
Muslim.
Vereinigten Staaten
The name Mohammed.
und
that
dann
speaks
außerdem
itself.
noch ein
The name
Muslim.
Mohammed is the most common name on the
Und der
planet.
Name Mohammed,
If you
das
take
ist ja
all the people in the
nun
world
der Name,
and
der
line them up,
fast
there'll
am
be
weitesten
more
verbreitet in der Welt
Mohammeds than
ist.
any other name. And there are 800 million Muslims.
Und es gibt
So
immerhin
by me,
800
as soon as I
Millionen
accepted
Muslims.
the Islamic religion, automatically I become a citizen of Egypt, Saudi Arabia,
Als ich dann diese
Morocco,
Religion
had a
annahm,
fight in
da
Malaysia
wurde ich
for the
natürlich
first time, had a
automatisch
fight in Zaire,
ein
the
Staatsbürger
Philippines,
aller dieser
we're
8
going to
Millionen,
Sudan,
800
Khartoum
Millionen.
with George Foreman. This has never happened. Boxers have never been in these countries.
But you had quarrels
So-
in the United States of America.
Aber Sie hatten
Quarrels with
Streitigkeiten in
authorities,
den Vereinigten
quarrels with,
Staaten.
Hawks in the Southeast Asian question and all that.
Über die
You're
südostasiatische
still concerned
Frage.
about America. Whom would you like to see
Sind
as
Sie
the
noch
next president from the
bedrückt,
people
was
who are running?
Amerika betrifft?
Well,
Do you care at all?
yes, I care because whoever wins affects myself and my cause.
Was den
and
nächsten
people.
amerikanischen
I'll give you
Präsidenten
your cause the
betrifft,
best
so
chance of
sorge
all
ich
the-
mich schon um diese Frage.
I'm not looking at it just for the cause, but for all people's cause, not just me. I can't be
Und zwar
greedy
nicht
and
nur
just say,
ich für mich alleine,
my
sondern
cause, for the
überhaupt
cause of
für
the
alle Menschen
world,
sorge ich
really.
mich da.
America has a lot of influence and power.
Amerika
and
hat ja
control
viel
within the
Einfluss und
future
Macht.
destiny of a lot of countries. So the president of the United States has a great effect on the world.
Der Präsident der Vereinigten Staaten hat also einen großen
From what I've
Einfluss.
seen, I like President Ford.
Von dem, was ich bis jetzt gesehen habe, mag ich Präsident Ford.
But the only one I've been able to go to the White House. I've been invited twice to meet Ford. King Hussein just.
Man hat mich zweimal eingeladen, um Ford zu treffen.
President Ford invited me there to host him, to talk to him, to be with him.
Als King Hussein da war.
And you liked him.
Huh?
And you liked him.
Who?
Ford.
Und der hat Ihnen gefallen?
Ford. President Ford.
I'm gonna say I like him for that, but if I had to
Naja,
pick,
ich meine, ich
If you
habe
had to
ihn
pick
nicht
the people who are
wegen
there
der
now, you'd
Einladung
pick
gerne
Ford
gehabt,
rather than anyone
then
else.
everybody, I like Ford, yeah.
aber ich mag Ford.
I have another question which has also got to do with sport and nothing at
Eine
all to
andere
do with
Frage.
politics. There are rumors you're going to meet a champion, a Japanese champion.
Gerüchte,
in a
dass Sie
freestyle
einen
bout,
japanischen Champion
in about a
treffen wollen.
month's time in Japan. This is
Und
going
zwar
to
in
be a fight
Japan.
without gloves, and this man says he's going to kill you.
Und
Is this
dieser
true?
Mann sagt, er wird Sie
Yes,
umbringen.
it's true. He says it.
Ja, das sagt
Yeah, well,
er.
what's it going to look like? What are you going to do?
I
Fight?
don't. Well, they're making the rules now. I'm gonna have boxing gloves on.
You're going to have gloves.
Nun,
And
da
he's
müssen
gonna
zuerst
have
mal Regeln
brands.
aufgestellt
He's not
werden.
going to be allowed to hit
With the side of
karate
the
chops.
No, but
Er
he's
wird
going to be
nicht
trying to grab my arms,
in der Lage
grab my
sein,
head, throw me down, just
zuzuschlagen wie
wrestle.
bei Karate.
And if he
Also,
can pin
aber er
my
darf mich
shoulders 3
anfassen.
times, he win.
Wenn er meine
If I'm
Schultern
down, I
dreimal
can
am
hit up.
Boden hat,
If I'm on my
Dann hat er
knees low for
gewonnen.
him, I can hit down.
aber wenn
And if
ich
you knock
dann
him out,
über ihm
You can
bin,
drop kick, which is jump up in the air
dann
and
kann
kick
ich
you out.
runterschlagen.
But can you,
And
can
if I
you,
can grab the ropes, if I can get to the ropes,
Und wenn ich an die Seile
Can you knock him
hinkomme,
out? If you knock him out,
If I hit him,
dann
yes.
bin ich auf
then it's 10
neutralem
seconds
Boden.
countdown.
It was same thing as
Same thing as
boxing. Or if I
boxing.
beat
Now
him
what-
unconscious to the point he can't defend himself, or if he makes me say I quit or I give, he
Wenn ich
wins.
ihn unbewusst schlage
It will be dangerous if I miss a punch that
Oder
grabs me
wenn
because he's
er
strong. But I'm
mich
counting on my
dreimal
power. If I can land
auf
the
den Rücken
first
legt,
good punch,
dann ist es
he
vorbei.
will forget how to wrestle.
Aber wenn ich da einen guten Schlag anbringe, dann wird er vergessen. Dann wird er
$2
vergessen,
million
das,
for him and
das
$6
Ringen
million
vergessen.
for me.
And what'll stay? What do you
$2
keep?
million. I'll keep $2 million.
That's taxes. The rest is
After
taxes.
taxes, I'll keep
Was
everything.
bleibt?
I'll
Was
keep
bleibt
$2 million,
übrig?
which ain't too bad.
Tell me, I was very
Ungefähr
impressed
2
with
Millionen,
for
nachdem
your
die Steuern abgezogen sind.
belief that there should be racial equality.
Sind Sie der Meinung, dass es Rassengleichheit geben
There
sollte?
have been more world champions that
Es hat,
had the same color as you do.
Mehrere
Do you think there is
Weltmeister
some
gegeben, die
kind
dieselbe
of
Hautfarbe
racial
hatten.
superiority that makes black people better fighters?
Glauben Sie,
greater
es
fighters?
gibt etwas,
No, I
was
don't
schwarze
I think what it
Menschen
is
zu
is-
besseren Kämpfern macht?
It's do or die.
Nein, das glaube ich nicht.
They're more hungry.
Yeah, because of
Aber
their
Schwarze
social
sind
conditions.
hungriger.
Social conditions
Sie
and,
müssen
and
They go
mehr
all
auf das
out.
Überleben
not
achten.
not having a proper education.
Sie haben auch nicht die
being
richtige
hungry.
Erziehung.
Where a white fighter, if he's not able to make it, well, he might decide to go to law school. Or
Aber
he
ein
might
weißer
open
Kämpfer,
up a
wenn er es
little
nicht schafft,
business.
dann studiert er
but-
vielleicht
But
Rechtswissenschaften.
black been the minorities and times been
Und die
so
Schwarzen
hard.
sind nun mal in der
This
Minorität.
made them hungry
Die Zeiten waren
and
schwer.
real determined,
Und diese
made them
Zeiten
more like
haben sie
myself.
wirklich
I'm
hungrig
not
gemacht,
educated.
hungrig nach dem
If I
Kampf.
wasn't boxing, I don't know what I'd be doing. And I had
Ich
to
habe auch
win.
keine
I had
gute
to
Schule
win.
gehabt.
So the whites don't. And I'll tell you something else. You very rarely find a Jewish fighter.
Und dann sage
That's
ich Ihnen
true,
noch was.
Because
Man
since
findet
they are
selten
so
einen jüdischen
business-minded,
Kämpfer.
they
Denn
find
die
easier
haben ja
ways
so
to
einen
make
guten
money.
ausgeprägten
Well,
Geschäftssinn.
I overhear the implication, but tell me, from Sunday on,
überhöre,
you're sparring
die Andeutung.
in public here in Munich in the Circus Krone, and people can come in and watch you.
They can come in and watch you fighting.
Die Leute im Zirkus Krone können
isn't that
hereinkommen
dangerous?
und ihnen
Because people might
zuschauen.
watch you and spies may be there
Ist es
and
nicht gefährlich?
find out
Könnten
how
nicht
you fight, the
Spione da
latest-
sein,
the
die
latest
herauskriegen,
techniques
wie
and
sie
all that?
eigentlich kämpfen, was sie für eine Technik haben?
Naja, alles werde ich Ihnen auch nicht
I
zeigen.
don't think it's dangerous. They call me the people's champion.
Aber gefährlich
Because
ist
I
das
like
nicht.
people, I'm always around people,
Nun,
they all
man
come
nennt
to
mich
my
eigentlich
See,
den
he's got spies.
Champion
Dunn has
mit
spies.
dem Volk.
You always watch the champion,
Und deswegen zeige ich
see
dem
how
Volk
he's
auch
looking, what he's
was
doing.
gerne.
But you must remember,
Ich bin nicht gegen
I
das
have
Volk.
spies also.
Und wenn
It's
der
like
dann
the CIA
Spione
on
hat,
both
dann habe ich
sides.
auch
I have
welche.
some German spies.
Ich habe ein paar
Really?
Deutsche.
Yes, sir.
The German
I've
spies
got
are-
3 German spies.
3
rely on
deutsche
them. Watch it.
Spione habe
Don't rely
ich,
on
die den dann
I'm sure
beobachten.
they will do a good job. If not, we'll take them for a ride.
Okay.
You think that,
No, I
what's
was
your-
only joking. Let me get that
listen,
straight.
Ali, what's your,
Ich habe nur Witze
what's your
gemacht.
first impression of Munich on this trip?
Was ist Ihr Eindruck von
From the
München bis
airplane, it was
jetzt?
so green and beautiful.
So,
Na, also bis jetzt war es so grün und so schön.
And the streets are so clean.
Und die Straßen sind so sauber.
They don't think the
Wenn Sie
streets
da
are
aus New
clean.
York
You're
kommen
not welcome. Well,
würden,
you should come to New York City.
New York City is not as clean
Yeah.
as Munich, I will say.
Kommen Sie
Munich
doch mal
is
nach
so
New York.
clean, and
München ist
I
wirklich
see-
sauber.
And that's about all I want to say that I've seen on the air.
What do you feel during the fight, Ali? When I mean, anybody can buy a ticket for your. When is the fight? It's on the 25th, isn't it? The 24th.
24th.
24th. In the
24th.
middle of the night.
Der
Starts
Kampf
at
ist
10
also
o'clock
am
with the program
24.
beforehand,
Mai.
and then you get into the
With a
ring.
terrific program.
A good
beforehand,
program.
actually.
mit
Very good
einem
fighters before you.
großen
So you have to
Vorprogramm.
live up to your
Yeah.
reputation.
Also,
Then you get into
Sie
the
müssen
ring.
sich
And
anstrengen.
what about midnight? Something like that.
I don't
2
know.
o'clock, roughly.
Ja, also wann ich ins
Now,
Bett
how do you
komme, das
feel?
weiß ich
What
nicht.
difference? I mean, anybody in Munich or anywhere else in Germany
An
can
dem
buy a ticket
Abend
for this
des
fight.
24.
The usual ticket-selling places without any problem. And lots of people, no doubt, will buy tickets for the fight.
Und viele
And
Leute
how
werden
important to you
Eintrittskarten
when you
für
have a
diesen
fight
Kampf kaufen.
is the audience, the public there? Does it make any difference if
The
they're
response.
Americans or Germans or
Macht es Ihnen
Japanese?
irgendetwas aus, aus
If there are
welchen
no black
Menschen dieses
people in the
Publikum
audience,
besteht,
makes
ob
no
das
difference
Deutsche
to
sind
you.
oder
Just
Amerikaner
also.
oder was?
Nein, das
Or
macht
do
mir
you
nichts
feel
aus.
any response from the public at all?
No, well,
Or
yes.
are they not there for you?
It's nice to go out and see a full house.
Yeah.
Es ist schon schön, wenn man
Sometimes you
rauskommt
see
und das Haus
patches
ist
where
voll.
the seats are not full.
Und
And
wenn es dann
see,
nicht ganz
when
voll ist,
I go into this ring, I'll not only, the audience is so small compared to those, say, in America.
Yeah.
I just outdrew the Kentucky Derby with a mediocre
hier
opponent. We
sind ja
outdrew the
die
Kentucky Derby.
Zuschauermengen
16%
kleiner.
more people.
Ich habe zum
In
Beispiel das
America,
letzte
watching
Mal
my fight will be about
eine
85
Zuschauermenge gehabt, die war
million
größer
people.
als die
How
beim
many people
Kentucky
in
Derby.
How many people in Munich altogether?
Roughly.
The
Wie
1.5
viele
million?
Menschen gibt es denn in München?
1.3, is it?
Well, you imagine if everybody in Munich was at the fight live, it will be a small crowd.
Also können Sie sich vorstellen, wenn jedermann in
Compared to the
München
television figures.
Yeah.
zu meinem Kampf
Television
kommen würde,
will have about
dann wäre das
85
immer noch
million.
eine kleine
We go to London,
Zuschauermenge.
England, we'll have another probably 30 million.
In London
We go
werden wir ja
all throughout
30 Millionen
Pakistan,
haben.
Arabia,
In
Saudi
Pakistan
Arabia,
und diese ganzen Länder.
Mexico, Trinidad, Honolulu, Hawaii, Jamaica, the whole world. I would say that before live fight and after films, I would gamble my life to say at least 700 million will see the fight. 700
Es werden ja
That's a great
insgesamt
feeling when you're fighting.
700 Millionen den
Knowing
Kampf sehen.
700 million people are watching.
Wenn man sich
The
das
crowd is
vorstellt,
just
das ist einfach
mediocre.
fantastisch.
I'm
Da ist ja
glad
die
to see
Menge
them, but
im
you're
Stadion
performing for the
dann
world
eigentlich die
audience.
kleinere Menge.
It's good to have the people there.
Man kämpft
But
ja für
the
die, die
main
auch
thing I
draußen
want to
sind.
know before I go in the ring, not is the people there, is the money in the bank.
Das, was ich wissen will, wenn ich da reingehe in den Ring,
Did you ever get
ob
into a
das Geld
fight, I mean,
in der Bank
privately,
ist.
because your fist is practically like a deadly weapon for anyone
Ihre
who
Faust
able
ist
to
eine
defend
tödliche
themselves.
Waffe.
Are you so controlled that you're sure you never
Sometimes
will
I
use
do
them?
interviews.
Sind Sie so,
And I get
kontrolliert?
angry.
Manchmal gebe ich Interviews, da werde ich so böse, dann möchte ich zuschlagen.
really control
It's
yourself?
considered deadly weapons, but you read about people walking up to champions and trying.
Und man sagt, das wäre
People
eine tödliche
challenging Jesse
Waffe.
James when he
Und
walked
man
in the
sagt, dass
saloon.
also dann
I've
irgendwelche
never in my
dahin
life
gehen
had
zu
nobody to want
Champions
trouble. But
und
there are
dann
men around me
den irgendwie
in
herausfordern wollen.
case
Aber ich lasse mich
you
nicht
might find
herausfordern.
every so often a fool. But I've never had this
Narren
in my
gibt's
life.
immer.
I've never worried
Aber
about it.
ich habe mich
And if it's
darüber
self-defense,
eigentlich nie
if
aufgeregt.
somebody really attacked me and I could hit him, I'm sure I'd be out of it if I can prove it. Even if I had a pistol, if it's self-defense. But I don't never have no trouble like that. I never even think about it.
And
Ich habe
you
da
have
keine
no
Schwierigkeiten.
problem to restrain yourself if you're angry at somebody.
Können Sie sich wirklich zusammennehmen, wenn Sie auf irgendjemand ärgerlich sind?
Don't you ever get an impulse to hit someone just like that? Like we all do, I suppose.
The wife.
A wife.
Ja, auf die Frau.
But you wouldn't hit her.
I
I don't believe it.
was joking.
Aber die
but
will ich
I
nicht
never-
schlagen. Ich
I
mache nur
never
Witze.
get really angry.
Well, we've got to get some more information because this is getting more and more interesting. I read in a British
wird immer interessanter.
newspaper the other day that
Ich habe
I'm
neulich
British,
gelesen,
so I read in a British newspaper, right?
in einer
2 weeks ago,
englischen Zeitung,
that you said
dass Sie gesagt
that you
haben,
were not feeling your age, but that you were aware of your age.
dass Sie Ihr Alter nicht
Was that a
spüren,
fair
aber
report?
dass Sie sich über Ihr
So
Alter
this
im
would mean,
Klaren
if I'm
sind.
right,
See,
that
you
one
take-
day you will stop fighting
Wann hören Sie auf zu
because of
kämpfen?
age.
Yes.
Quite simply. What will you do then?
I've been fighting 22 years.
I know.
Ich habe jetzt
So what will you do
22 Jahre lang
I want to
gekämpft.
be an evangelist. I want to be a traveling minister.
Ich möchte
As
ein
long as
reisender
teachers.
Oh, you will?
Pfarrer
Yes,
sein,
a lot of
wenn
things.
ich
Wallace
aufhöre.
Muhammad, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Muslim leader in America, he's passed. Now his son, the Honorable Wallace D. Muhammad, is taking us farther into the faith.
Ich meine, der Elijah Muhammad in Amerika, der Führer unseres Glaubens, der hat mich ja sehr tief in diesen Glauben hineingeführt. Und ich glaube, wir sind für einen Zweck geboren. Und ich glaube, dass der liebe Gott gewisse von uns in gewisse Rollen gibt, um anderen zu helfen. Und da soll ich helfen, um mehr Menschen zu helfen.
When Dunn defeats you at the 24th,
Wenn
is
dann
that
Sie
the end
schlägt,
of your career?
ist das das Ende Ihrer
Well done,
Karriere?
Doc.
Is that, may I wake you up? I mean, you had a long trip, but
Before you fall asleep, I have a present for you.
Did you say my done?
Dunn apparently falls
Was haben Sie über dann gesagt?
Abendschau-Medaille.
This means a medal
Is this
of...
real silver?
Ist das wirklich so?
Try it.
Please
try it.
don't sell it. Don't sell it.
And before we finish, you just...
I like your show
You haven't-
and I love your style, but your price is so cheap. I won't be back for a while.
Ich mag Ihre Show, ich mag Ihren
they pay
Stil,
us better than
aber
you?
die Bezahlung ist so billig. dass ich bald nicht mehr zurück sein werde.
I love your show. I'm Mario Style, but you pay so cheap, don't call me for a while.
There's one thing, I mean, let's kill this once and for all. If you tell us you're never going to say again, I'm the greatest, but you're only going to say it in German. Could you say that in German for us?
Können Sie auf Deutsch sagen, that I'm the
Ich bin der
greatest?
Größte.
Ich bin der Größte.
Der Größte.
Ich bin der Größte.
Very good.
That's it.
Ich bin der Größte. Ich bin der Größte. Ich bin der Größte.
Well, thanks a lot for...
I want to say one thing. I found out I've been on your show. You're not as dumb as you look. Did he interpret that?
He certainly did, yes. It's all gone on the
Beat him
record.
up if he does. What do you think?
Okay.
Okay, we're off camera.
We're off camera now, I think.
I hope it wasn't too...